Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Spoonful podcast. I am one of your hosts, Mario Piacquadio. Joining me, as always, my good friend, Emmett Watkins Jr. How are you, sir?
Is he on mute?
Yep, we cannot hear you, sir.
That's hilarious. I had a really good intro. I said like a very clever thing, and I was muted the whole time.
Nice job.
Gosh darn it!
For people in the audience, we literally had like a 5-minute conversation before hitting record. This man muted himself.
How? I was perfect. Right before we record, I hit mute. How's it going, Mario? I can't even say the thing I was going to say anymore. I felt so great.
It's
now
going
I feel
wonderful.
Mediocre.
For those who are watching on YouTube and who heard an unfamiliar voice, we are joined today by a guest, a very good guest. Funny enough, first time he and I meet on camera, Mr. Jacob McCourt.
Hello,
Yes,
thanks for
indeed.
having me. I broke the cardinal rule of podcasting by laughing audibly before I was introduced, so I apologize for that.
It's
Adds mystery.
exactly. It's the audio listeners were like, wait, what? What's going on?
Who's that man with the goofy laugh?
Yeah, they were like that SpongeBob meme where he looks all, that one.
Yeah.
Discombobulated.
Discombobulated. That's a great word for it.
Oh, boy.
How are you lads doing today?
Doing really well. Emmett,
Doing
are you
really
still
well.
muted or no? You're not. Okay, good.
I don't think I'm muted still. But no, I'm glad Jacob's on here today. I've been wanting to do something else with you since I was on the Left Mind Game Club a while back with you. So
Probably years
yeah.
ago at this stage.
Probably technically years ago at this point. Yeah, we're probably hitting that 2-year mark. But in any case, you're great to be on a show with. I should have you on the Players Club podcast by now, but I'm glad we can get you around a spoonful at least. And yeah, you're a good lad, as they say in countries that aren't mine.
Do we secretly turn this into a wrestling podcast? Because I might be going to SummerSlam.
Oh my God. Okay. See, this is difficult because I did go to WrestleMania a couple months ago, as we've talked about on the show. I had no business being there as a non-wrestling fan. So you going to SummerSlam is very exciting. So, perhaps if you want a wrestling show, just get on Welcome to the Thing, because that's half wrestling all the time.
There you go. That makes sense.
There you go. Not a wrestling show today, but thank you for having me.
Of course.
yeah.
Thank you for coming. We're happy to have you. Emmett is not having you on the serious show. We're having you on the little silly show where we just talk about little silly things.
I thought about bringing a bowl of cereal today, but I figured that would be too long.
Oh, that would have been great.
You know what? I'm not going to lie.
Look at that.
I woke up 20 minutes ago, so you're getting cereal on the show.
Spoonful co-founder right here, man. CEO of the company,
Indeed.
I tell you.
I'm on brand as they come. But yeah, it actually synced up very well because, Jacob, I know that you're also launching yet another show on the same day that this comes out. So shoot, if you want to go ahead and give folks a chance to...
Our PR folks were on that, by the way. This is all planned.
This is synergy. Yeah, your people talk to my people. Barber and accounting got it down for us. So we're good.
Lawyers were figuring it out for months, but I'm glad we got it done.
It's not like I slid into your DMs or anything and said, hey, can I come talk about my thing? But after you've listened to every episode of Spoonful and maybe gone back and listened to One Big Topic, like every single episode of that.
Right.
Then,
marathon them both.
Then I've got a new show called Cross Play Conversations with two other kind of funny best friends, Joseph Hooper and Luke Lewis. It is going to be a topical show bi-weekly about video games where, we all have done shows on our own and we guested on each other's shows and went, our chemistry is really good. I think y'all even have like a similar origin story where you did things and you're like, I like these people and we talk good together. So why don't we just do that? So Crossplay Conversations launches today. You can find it on all podcasting platforms, but I'm here more to talk about Barbenheimer, y'all.
Barbenheimer, let's go. Yeah, it is funny because for Emmett and I, where basically the origin story of Spoonful is extremely similar, where when I was doing One Big Topic, and that was a weekly show, every now and then I had like emergency shows where I'm like, I don't have a guest, the guest couldn't make it, or time just passed by and I'm fucked up, and Emmett was my emergency guy. I'm like, hey dude, you got an hour?
You're describing us. We've guested on each other's shows probably like 30 times. And then Luke, like a year ago, was like, can we just do this full time? And so we're doing it. We've got 2 shows out today. One about kind of console oligopolies, if you will. And then kind of our mid-year in review. So again, Friends are good when you talking to microphones with them. That's all I gotta say.
It's a blast. It's a blast. Well,
Indeed.
speaking of friends, Barbenheimer. I don't know. I tried.
Ken's your friend. I get
That
it.
is relevant. One of those movies is relevant to friendship.
Sure, yeah. One of them is about friendship. Yeah. So I know Emmett. Emmett, you have seen Barbie, right?
Hell yeah, I have.
I said that with an Irish accent. I promise I'm not trying to be Cillian Murphy.
Shillelagh.
Jacob, have you seen either of Barbie or Heimer?
No, I have not. I think we're
Okay.
going to see Oppenheimer Sunday and then Barbie like early next week.
Got it. So yeah, Kimeta and I haven't seen either yet either. But I am very happy because in all of the area of South Florida, there is a singular true IMAX theater. And it's a theater in a museum of like science, and they built like a theater right next to it that's kind of part of the museum, but the whole bit is that it's actual IMAX, right? It's the actual form factor. They actually use the film. So, as you could imagine, it was very, 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 very sold out because it is one theater playing Oppenheimer in 70 millimeter IMAX. So,
Gotta love Nolan.
You gotta love Nolan. We finally were able to get tickets. We're gonna see it Tuesday, and this is the Tuesday after recording. So by the time the episode is out, we have already seen it. And then Wednesday, we're doing Barbie. So we're still doing the double feature, but just a day apart.
Well, I'm not doing any of that because Oppenheimer, I don't know when we're seeing that. But Barbie, we had advanced tickets. My girl was like, hey, want to do this? We decided instantly. So here we are. But yeah. So y'all want to hear about Barbie?
Yes. Tell me about the Kens.
All right. The Kens. Look, okay. Here's the thing about this movie. This movie is like, it's like, what if you made Pee Wee Herman's Big Adventure, but like existential? Because what's so good about this movie? Because unlike a lot of these movies, because there's a lot of these types of movies being made, the Lego movie or insert brand here, the Duplo movie featuring Daniel Radcliffe. Like, there's plenty of these types of movies out there where it's like, here's the brand, but in a film. They really take advantage of. This movie is kind of a deconstruction of Barbie while also making you understand why Barbie should exist and also the problems that have come because Barbie exists. It's very interesting because yes, it's a movie about toys, but these toys represent specific things in culture. And the movie is more about the things that these toys represent than the toys themselves. It kind of uses that as a joke at first, but then it's really like, no, we're digging deep. And I'm surprised by how funny it is, by how ridiculous it is, how weird they were allowed to get, and a little bit how adult they were allowed to get. Like, yeah, this is a movie about Barbies. It's PG-13 for a reason. Like, there's some surprising humor, some surprising directions they take, and I'm surprised Mattel let them get away with some of the stuff that there's in there. But it's very good. If you like Greta Gerwig, if you like Little Women or Lady Bird, it's absolutely talking to women in the same way. It's very good. I kind of wish I saw this when I was 13, but if you're a girl and you're 13 years old, first of all, why are you watching this? Second off, this is the movie for you. That's all I'm saying.
Don't talk shit on our target audience, all right?
Is the humor really like mature? Because I saw the beach off I
was gonna mention that too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the beach you off scene.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, Barbie.
Yeah, there's a lot of moments like that where it's like it's kind of walking the line where it feels very PG a lot of the time, but then every now and then they have just like a slight edge to a joke. Like I don't want to spoil it because part of the way this joke goes, I'm not even gonna say when it happens because that's gonna ruin it. But there's a one joke in there that kind of builds up to like something super sincere, and then it makes like a kind of not a gross joke, but a joke that references something that if you're beneath a certain age, you're going to have questions for your parents later.
Nice.
It's not even gross or something like risque. It's just like, yeah, it's just like, oh, what's that, Mom? And then you got to have some
kids
talks.
getting the birds and the bees because of this.
Not maybe. It depends. Here's the thing. There's no jokes that are referencing people having sex, but there are plenty of jokes referencing people having parts. So that's all I'm gonna say.
I like the joke in the trailer where Ken tells Barbie, is like, "Hey, can I come over to your house later tonight?" And Barbie's like, "Do what?" Ken is like, I don't know. I like that joke. That's a good bit.
And that's really what most of the jokes are. The jokes are, if you are an adult yourself, you'll understand why it's funny, because you'll be able to think further than the characters can think.
Right.
Because the characters stop right before things get, sexual or anything, but you as an adult understand, oh, they're playing because a kid wouldn't know that, so they're stopping just short of it.
Now
it's very cute.
Here's a journalism. Here's an important question. This is what the people are thinking. After leaving the movie, who did you want to kiss on the lips more, Margot Robbie or Ryan Gosling?
There's only one answer.
No, there's too many answers.
Oh, okay.
What people are forgetting, yes, you have Barbie and Margot Robbie. Yes, you have Ken and Ryan Gosling. There's like 5 Kens and like 7 Barbies.
Yeah, that's true.
There's a lot of very attractive people in this movie.
Okay.
It's overwhelming. Like, also, if you watch Sex Education on Netflix at all, get ready, because this is like a Sex Education mini reunion. Like, half the characters in this movie are from Sex Education, and it's like, I knew 2 of them from press and all trailers and stuff ahead of time. But one of them, I'm like, oh shit, he's in this movie, and then you think it's a cameo, but then he's just around the rest of the movie. It's very, very interesting. So, shout out to that. But no, there's a lot of attractive people in this movie. Yeah. Every Barbie is cute. Issa Rae is president, and I love Issa Rae. She's actually president in the movie. And who else is there? I forget her name.
Will Ferrell's raw sex appeal is undeniable.
Let me tell you, Will Ferrell, his 3-minute sex scene is just good Lord.
Big energy, got it.
Yeah, Sloppenheimer. Let me tell you. But no, but no, like, everyone's beautiful in this movie. All the Kens are great. They got, I forget the name of the guy from Sex Education, but he's the one who's going to be on Doctor Who as well, the black guy. Yeah, he's great in this movie. Yeah, very good looking guy. Simu Liu's in the movie as well. Shout out to what is it? The Seven Rings? I forget the Marvel movie he was in. Shang-Chi, thank you. Yeah, everyone's really great in this movie.
Come on,
everyone
Emmett,
feels like
the modern MCU is so fun and interesting and diverse, dude.
Young man, I don't remember the last MCU thing actually, no, it was Guardians 3. That was the only good thing I've seen from the MCU in months.
I was playing the long game on Guardians 3 till it came out on Disney Plus. How about you? Are you Jacob? Time out, because I'm talking mad shit. Are you in the MCU still? Are you like?
Am I like in the MCU? Yes, I have a cameo actually in Thor: Dark World. Man. If you didn't know,
nice.
I'm the guy who holds up the can of Mountain Dew and says,
I thought you looked familiar. That makes sense.
Yeah, that's me. No, I'm an MCU person, but I think I've become less enchanted over time, where I'm like, okay, I think I'm good, but then I still give Disney all of my money and say, yes, the new thing. Let me watch the new thing.
Fair.
So I guess kinda.
All right.
Yeah, I dragged my girlfriend to see Quantumania, and she does not watch Marvel anything. So I made it up to her with Guardians, though. It's fine.
Dude, the biggest shame is that leading up to Avengers, Jimena and I, like, because Disney Plus was a thing. Jimena and I marathoned all of the MCU, and it was like, great, this is a part of our lives now. And then both of us are like, I don't care anymore. I just don't care.
All the excitement for 1 year, and then it's just off. But I'll say,
okay, Thanos is in the Barbie movie, you were saying.
Yeah. So after Thanos snaps everybody, no. But yeah, no, Barbie's just really good. It's just, I'm surprised that they were able to get away with some of the jokes, but I'm also surprised that they were able to get away with the actual story of the movie. It is not an easy movie. And another reason I think a lot of kids are going to have questions if they watch this movie, it doesn't give you easy answers for things. It doesn't wrap up in cliche ways. No character gets a cliche ending. It feels very like, if you're a child and you're watching this for the first time, this might be the first time you're seeing concepts like this. So it's daring. So I'm surprised it got made. I'm surprised that someone could even write down the type of stuff. Because when I say it's deconstructing Barbie, it is like, it's going in on some points, but then by the end of it, it's like, well, actually, there's value here. It's just maybe not the value you thought. So I don't know. It's very good. it's super feminist too. Like everyone's like, okay, not everyone. There's certain people online who are
Ben
like, oh, this movie
Shapiro.
woke as shit.
Right.
Yeah, Ben Shapiro, you know those folks. Yes, this movie talks about the patriarchy.
Love it. Fuck yeah.
Like that is a major plot point and major topic throughout like half the movie. So like it makes sense, but you have to have a baseline of like understanding those concepts exist and accepting that those concepts exist in order to have fun. But it's really fun. It pokes fun at just about everybody. If you're a dude watching this movie, prepare to just swallow some humble pie. Because there's a couple of lines where it's like, all right, it's the Barbie movie, so you kind of like you got to accept what comes. But it's definitely going to be like, ooh, your ego can get bruised if you are the type to have a very easily bruised ego.
That.
But
we need that.
Yeah.
In behalf of all men, we are in dire need of some of that. So that's fine.
Absolutely. Like, literally, there was one part, a scene happened, and I leaned over to my girlfriend, and I'm like, "Hey, that was me during PAX. I'm sorry about that."
This movie is for Ben McKenzie fans, not Ben Shapiro fans.
Nice.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. So yeah, that's pretty much all I want to say about Barbie. It's really good. Everyone should watch it. And also, I'm an Alan, not a Ken. You'll know what that means when you watch the movie.
Understand that one later.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
The one thing
exactly.
I'm glad that everything I've seen about the Barbie movie really seems like they nailed it and like surpassed expectations, even though expectations were already pretty high. The one thing that I've seen online that I'm not looking into, but I'm like, I really am curious, is the talk of like people saying, I can't believe they got away with the last line in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, what's the last line in the movie? Don't tell me, obviously, but I'm like, okay.
I won't tell you the last line, but that is the thing I was talking about when I was like, oh, it seems really, there's like a 10 or 15 minute stretch. Excuse me, here's that cereal I was eating. There's like a 10 or 15 minute stretch of sincerity, and then that last line comes, and it's the funniest thing because it comes out of nowhere. But that's the type of line where people are gonna have questions. If you're a 10-year-old watching that, you're like, "What's that, mom?" And then you gotta explain that whole thing.
Sick.
But it's a great line. Great way to end the movie.
Is the Academy gonna recognize this film, you think, as a film?
Ooh.
Not that matters.
That's a good one.
You're right. It does not matter. Because it's Greta Gerwig, because it's all these famous people that a lot of the Academy is inclined to like, I could see this being like the Toy Story 3 of the Best Picture list, where everyone saw it, everyone liked it, but it's not necessarily Academy film, so it doesn't win anything. I could absolutely see that. I think this deserves like something for the writing, like putting a script together like this, where you're talking about concepts through toys in like a very direct way, because it's experimental, it's non-specific, but it's also very specific and direct in a lot of ways. So I think it's a writing, just from a sheer writing standpoint, this deserves something. Ryan Gosling, I really love him as Ken, and I think his performance is great. And even Barbie herself, like what they do with Barbie by the end of this movie is really good. I cried at the end of the movie. I'm not even gonna lie. I teared up pretty aggressively. I cry at a lot of movies now because that's just what I am now. But I did cry at this one. So I can see it getting nominated, but don't expect it to take anything. It might get barely nominated. That's all.
I feel like at the very least, it should be like heavily considered for like set design and costume design, right? Like, because
oh yeah,
at least from the trailers, it looks like that's incredible what they're doing.
It might get like a Golden Globe or something. I'd expect that, like maybe a single Golden Globe.
Suicide Squad won Best Makeup at the Oscars. Okay, so sky's the limit.
I mean, it's not really. They didn't have to do too much makeup in here. Everyone was beautiful already. Even the normal people. America Ferrera is like the normal woman in this movie, and she's beautiful. Like it's fine.
Everyone's fourth pick for Best Picture at the Academy Awards.
Absolutely. Maybe fifth.
Exactly. Cool.
It does seem like at least critically, obviously box office wise, Barbie is like dominating and it's gonna dominate, and Oppenheimer isn't out here to eat its lunch. But critically, there's a pretty good chance Oppenheimer goes out and eats its lunch.
Oh yeah. Critically, people already love Oppenheimer. People are talking Oppenheimer like it's one of the best movies of all time.
Yeah.
And Barbie is just surprisingly good. Because everyone expected Oppenheimer to be like this Oscar bait type of, massive cinematic event. Barbie was always going to be fun. We're just surprised that it's fun and there's a message. So, it's really good. It's really good.
I'll say as someone who obviously hasn't seen either of them, the one thing I'm very glad to see is and especially if you know me, that like I'm oversaturated with the MCU and all that. I'm stoked to see like 2 movies. Granted, one of them is based on an IP, but it's still a very original movie. Uh, 2 like original movies dominating at the box score. Like, love to see that, dude. Like, oh, cinema's a thing, man. We're still alive.
Yeah, movies are out here, dude. There's been a lot of great movies recently this year. Like there's a lot of good stuff this year. Like I watched that Little Mermaid remake, and I thought that was really good, surprisingly. Of course, Across the Spider-Verse, all that stuff. Like, there's good movies out. You just gotta find them sometimes, but they're there. They're there.
Question: do y'all know what Greta is working on next?
I have no idea. Do you know?
Do we
I
know?
do.
Oh,
What is she working?
She has penned the screenplay for Disney's Snow White.
Oh my god.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Oh, I don't know how I feel about that. I trust Greta Gerwig with my life at this point. I do not care about Snow White. She is 3 for 3, which is true. But God, how long is this woman going to be sleeping during that movie? Whoever they cast, because how does Greta Gerwig work with a movie where the one woman is asleep the entire film?
Yeah.
They have a cast too. If you want me to share the cast for it,
Ooh,
so it's
give me
Rachel
like
Zegler as Snow White.
Oh, okay.
And Gal Gadot as the Evil Queen.
Ooh, okay. Okay. Wow.
Fresh off of Cleopatra, Gal Gadot.
I thought you were gonna say fresh off that singing of Imagine during the pandemic. But.
Nice.
Nah, Imagine 2 is coming because now they're all on strike. They're not working. Good Lord. Get ready for that. Speaking of playing games with my heart, there's another game-related topic that we had as well.
Come on. That's why we pay him, man.
I'm on my segue.
Hey, look at you. Look at you. We're all linking up here. We're all same brain cell. Let's go. Bingo, bango. So yeah, I guess I'll go ahead and switch to it. So Barbenheimer's good and all, but the main topic I wanted to have today is something gamers. It's something for the gamers out there, you know. I've been knee deep in this, so I wanted this to be a topic just so I could talk about it. I'm being very selfish this week. I'm not gonna lie, but gaming social networks, there's a handful of them. And I just want to discuss them a little bit because I understand, Jacob, I know you use GG app. That's correct. Yes. Mario, have you ever used any of these types of things?
So here's me. Here's what I do. So I use GG app very religiously, except the way I use GG app is differently than a lot of people may use GG app. My sole purpose of using GG app is to keep track of the games I'm playing, the games I beat, the games I want to play. I do not review them at all. Like I think I did 1 or 2 reviews at first, and I'm like, nope. This is my list app, basically.
You're describing how I use GG.
Beautiful.
Well, there you go. Y'all both use it in the exact same way. I am the one odd man out. Because now here's the thing. I use GG app. Yes, I used it for a very long time, like maybe 2 years or so.
You're on that game. Yeah.
Then I found Backlogged, which is just GG app, but it's been around a little longer, so there's just a couple more features. So I swapped over to that, and then I found a new one.
Oh no!
And that's the reason I went to have this conversation, because I think this new one might be the one I just end up with. So I'll stick with y'all on GG app for a second and just say, for those of you who don't know anything of what we're talking about, we'll explain what GG app is first, because GG app, I think, is like the best entry point for a lot of people. It's just Letterboxd for video games. I think everyone can understand that concept, and all it is, you get on there, you find the games that you like, you go to the page, you can mark it as something you're playing, something you've beaten, something you completed, whatever. You can give it a 5-star rating if you like. You can make lists of different games. You can write reviews of different games, follow other people, see their lists, see their reviews, all that stuff. It's a nice little site. And plus, you know, it's a one-man developer team, and they're a kind of funny best friend too. So they got like little features in there if you're a kind of funny fan and all that stuff. So, you know, it's nice. It's good vibes, good community on that app. The reason I dropped it for Backlogged is because Backlogged is just a little bit nicer site. They don't have an app yet, which is a little annoying, but I just made a link to it in my app folder and it just works on my phone all the same. But it's a little bit nicer. They have a lot more I don't want to say they have a lot more games. It just seems like they have a lot more places to show your stats. So on backlog, they just have numbers for like, here's all the games in your beaten pile, all the games in your playing pile. On here, I go to backlog and immediately on my page, it's like, you've played 479 games because that's how many games you've ranked or put into the thing of I've beaten it or whatever. You have 258 games in your backlog. Your wish list is 29 games. Like, it's so many stats. There's like a little chart here where it's like all the ratings you've ever given and like the distribution chart of like how many 3 stars you give, how many 4 stars you give, all that stuff. It's really, really neat. And I just like stats. I'm a big stats nerd. I just like numbers showing me things I've done. So I was all over that. They have a lot better. Also, their lists are a lot better too. You can make like a ranked list and it'll do like the silver, gold, bronze medals for the top 3 if you do it in a ranked list and everything. So it's very, very well done. Very nice site. The problem with both GG and Backlogged is you get on there, you're like, great, I want to start rating games. I have to find or just remember all the games I've ever played.
Yeah, that's the part that's tough, man.
Yeah,
can I
absolutely.
ask, how were you like logging this stuff beforehand? Because for me, like the genesis was I used Giant Bomb's list features for like literally 10 years. So there is history back to 2010 of me going, these are all the games I played. And then I decided at one point, like, hey, the community's kind of moving on a little bit from Giant Bomb. So I started putting it on Twitter. And then I don't know who it was. I think it was a kind of funny best friend who was like, hey, have you looked at GG? Like, it's someone in the community that made it. And then I started using GG. Is that how y'all have always done it? Because there's some even people who use like Notion and have like beautiful Notion templates.
Oh my god.
But that's time that I don't have.
Yeah,
So much.
absolutely.
y'all
Mario
do
is.
How'd
you get on it?
For me, it's much less fun. It's that I didn't. I didn't, and I was like, oh, and then same. Like I saw GG at some point. I'm like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. I never used Letterboxd because I'm like, I like movies, but I don't watch movies enough to like really dive deep into Letterboxd. But yeah, I used it for GG, and originally when I used GG, and I'm trying to open it up if I can find the goddamn app. There we go. Originally I like just did the list of like, oh, games I've beaten this year or whatever. And then I really started diving more into like having a wish list, having a shelf, playing, beaten. So like if I go to beaten, at least since I've been using GG, I have, let's see how many games. 65 games.
Oh,
okay.
That's very respectable. Holy shit.
Out of those 65, because you got to remember, Emmett, my 2022 was fucking nuts because I beat 47 games in 2022.
Yeah.
Was
Go back and listen
year.
to that episode, y'all.
Yeah, that's
Good
a great
Lord.
episode. I ranked all of them, Jacob. I ranked them all. It was
insane.
Yeah, it was brutal to rank all those 47 games, but it was a good time.
I played 38 in 2022. You're a madman.
Yeah, 2022 was a year for the books for me, man. Like I decided
like 10.
I've never listen, dude, because I look at my 2021 and I played 17 games, out of which 3 of them are from Mario 3D All-Stars. So they were games I had already beaten, of course. One of them was The Artful Escape, which is like a 2-hour game.
Mm-hmm.
One of them was Uncharted 1, which I have beaten many times. Another one was 12 minutes, which you also can beat in like 5 minutes. Not 12 minutes. I should have said 12 minutes. Donut County, very short game too. So, I had my New Year's resolution for 2022 was just like, you know what? I need to actively play games, right? Like stop fucking around. Let's play some video games. This is what I like doing. And yeah, it's a great year. But what's very funny to me is that I did this without knowing. Also, I'm out.
Elden Ring at the bottom?
I beat Elden Ring, Jacob, on December 31st.
Yeah, that's how you do it. I did that same shit with Nier Automata like 5 years ago.
Dude.
Beat that right on the deadline.
When it was December 31st and I realized I was beating this fucking game, I tell you what, man, best feeling of my life.
Hell yeah.
But It's hilarious
rock.
to me that I dedicated 2022 to this, because I wouldn't quite realize until somewhere within 2022 how 2023 was going to be very different, because I was going to start school and I was not going to have enough time. And I have we're in July, and I have beaten 8 games in 2023. So it's been different. One of which was replaying The Last of Us Part 2 with Jimenez. So yeah.
Hey, doing better than me. I'm at 3 right now.
Let's go.
Yeah,
Life's
I'm
been
a little
brutalizing
higher.
me.
What am I at? I'm at 23.
Sick. Congrats.
Yeah,
That's very good.
But I did my master's in
Respectable.
2019, and if I look at the number of games I've beaten, so in 18 I beat 28, in 19 I beat 19, and then in 2020 I beat 28.
Nice.
So
Okay.
school's tough, man.
School is tough.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, when the only game you're playing is Tears of the Kingdom, you are not going to be beating a lot of games, because I'm 80 hours into that game and I still have 4 sections of the map to unlock.
Dude, I'm even further ahead, or not ahead. I'm even further behind in Tears of the Kingdom, where I only have like 15 hours into it. Why did I go to the GameFly sale and buy fucking Dead Space Remake and Forspoken? Like, what am I doing?
Dude,
I'm gonna play those.
I haven't had a chance to buy Final Fantasy 16, both financially, but I'm like, financially and time-wise, and I'm like, well, by the time I'm done with Tears of the Kingdom, Starfield is going to be out or near out. And that's
the year right there.
That's it.
Did I see
I'm
the
done.
controller there that you had? The Starfield controller?
I was playing with it. I love playing with it. Beautiful. You know what's hilarious about this, Jacob? My fiance Jimenez, she surprised me. She bought me the Starfield controller because I had been like gushing about it. And she bought it for me right before it sold out too. And I'm like, oh my God, this thing is beautiful. I love it. I hold it all the time. I play with it. I haven't played a single video game on this thing yet, because all that I have time to play is Tears of the Kingdom. So it's just sitting there. It's just a very pretty decoration now. But when Starfield comes out, I also won't use it because I'm gonna play on mouse and keyboard.
So it'll be a beautiful thing that you just put on your shelf, and
I just look at it and it's really pretty.
That was like
we'll
me
get
when
you
I
one
got
of
the
those Etsy
controller.
hooks.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
Yeah, I feel that. But yeah, there's not a lot of time to play games for me right now. Things are looking up though, because I talked about it last episode. I might be starting school soon, yes, but I'm gonna be day shift. That's official. I accepted a promotion, so that's happening very soon.
Congrats!
Hallelujah. So perhaps that'll mean more time to do frivolous things. Nice. We'll see. Fingers crossed. But to answer the question from earlier, how did I get around to tracking games? I didn't really track games that heavily for the longest time. It wasn't until I found a site called Exophase. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Exophase at all.
Yeah, I've used Exophase.
Yes. Exophase is basically, and this is actually a great segue to the new one that I found. Exophase is just a site where you can connect pretty much every gaming account you have, and it gets all your achievements from everything. And I'm talking all your PlayStation trophies, all your Xbox achievements, of course. It gets all your Steam achievements. It even reaches into like the EA app and gets all those achievements from Origin, retro games. If you emulate stuff and attach that account too, I got achievements from God Hand on here. I got like Dreamcast achievements as well from Dynamite Cop. Google Play Store, it has all my Google Play achievements from Android. GOG Store, Ubisoft achievements as well. Stadia was on here, and that was supported before it died. So every Stadia game I played, it has achievements for it on here as well. Epic Store is now included as well, and they recently just put Nintendo on here as well. And Nintendo doesn't have achievements, but it will track like the last 5 games you've been playing and tell you the time you spent in them. So I got time played for every game, achievements for every game. Emmett, it's really, really cool.
Do you think if you walk into Google headquarters right now, they'll like stand up and cheer for you because you are the one guy who kept Stadia alive?
No, I'll walk in and it'll be like fucking, oh, Captain, my captain. They'll stand on the desk. See, right there.
There you go.
Come on, Stadia Bros. What's up?
The fact that you both motherfuckers had the Stadia controller ready. You guys are sick. You're both sick people.
I bought it after the Stadia was dead.
Nice. Okay.
Because I'm like, hey, this controller's all right.
The controller is really good, and you can use the Bluetooth tool to just make it a Bluetooth controller. It's great. Yeah, shout out Stadia. I wish it still existed. Especially because I spent money.
They know who you are.
Well, look, I spent money on that subscription, and they didn't refund me anything because I didn't buy a single game except for Ghost Recon Wildlands for like $3.
Nice.
So they refunded me my $3, and that's it.
They know who you are. I guarantee you, there are some people in the Google team that if they hear the name Emmett Watkins Jr., they'll be like, that guy, yeah, I know that guy. That guy used Stadia, dude.
Yeah, Phil Harrison's going to dap me up in the street. I'm looking forward to it.
I mean, you're one of the 68 folks that used it, so like, congrats to you.
And one more user and everything would have been okay.
Yeah, that would have been nice. Would have met the quota.
Would have been nice indeed. But yeah, so I started with Exophase because Exophase just covers everything and it just tickles the stats brain of my brain where it's like, oh, I spent 13 hours in Nightmare Reaper? Hell yeah. And so I just love scrolling through all that stuff to the point where, because it only tracks playtime on PlayStation for PS4 and forward. So I went back to my PS3 games. I was pulling up every game. I would look at the save files, and if it had the time played, I would manually insert it into Exophase for that game, which they let you do. Even down to like, I would open up all the Call of Duty games and look at the stats in the multiplayer and be like, all right, 200 hours in this one, 150 in this one. I would type it in manually. So I did that for a while. Then GG came out, got on GG. Then Backlog came out, got on Backlog. And the problem with both of those, because I came from Exophase, so I'm like, this is great. I wish there was a way to like incorporate my achievements or my like time played and stuff into it, so I could write a review and then right next to it, it's like, oh, you put 30 hours into this game. And that's what leads me to the new one I found. Minimap, I think it's minimap.com. I'm gonna actually type this in. Minimap.net. Be careful. Minimap.net. Minimap.com is not affiliated with me at all.
Minimap.com will DDoS your whole computer and take all your data.
You want some malware? Type in minimap.com. But no, minimap.net. It's a website and an app. It was the weirdest thing. I got a random DM out the blue from some verified account, and they were like, hey, we'd be glad to have you on this app. And I'm
sounds like Elon's Twitter right there.
Honestly, once it's verified, because it was verified and it only had like 100, 300 people following them. And so I'm like, I'm already like just a little suspicious. But I'm like, you know what? Let's see what you're talking about here. Let's see what you're talking about. I get on here, and it's the same type of concept. It is Letterboxd for video games, of course. You can search whatever game. You can put completed, shelved, whatever. Give your 5-star rating. Go on about your day. Write a review. Make a list. All that stuff. The X Factor. Synced accounts. You go to synced accounts. You can collect your Steam. You can connect your PlayStation account. You can connect your Xbox account. And you can connect... It's broken right now, but you can connect your Epic Games account. I've seen other profiles with it connected. And it is almost exactly what I've been hoping for. I have reviews on here. I basically copied all my reviews over from Letterboxd because the last week I've just been on this app, just doing stuff and all this. So I copy it over. I sync my accounts. It knows all the games that I've played. And I wrote a review for God of War Ragnarok. And when I put it on there, it was like, do you want to input the time? And then they had a little import time button. I click it and it's like 30 hours and 50 minutes or whatever. And it just imports it right there next to the review. But the big thing that I liked, once I imported all these, it imported my entire games collection from all of these.
Oh, wow.
That's nice.
So it wasn't that whole process of me having to like, oh, I got to find this one. Did I play Witcher 2 or 3? Well, like all that. No, it's just, I think it's looking at either... In the case of Steam, I think it's looking at your actual Steam account. In the case of PlayStation and Xbox, it's looking at all your achievements. So anything you've gotten a trophy in, it pulls up there. You can delete it if it's wrong. But I was just, the last 3 days, just a massive list. I would just sort it by what didn't have a rating. And I'd just be like 5 stars completed, check. 2 stars dropped, check. And then I just did that for every single game. And now I have what? I'm going to look at my profile right now.
You have 1,856 games on this website.
Shit,
yep,
dude.
exactly. You're right there on it. Way too many games, let's be honest. Steam alone has just 1,001. PlayStation has 1,054. So that lets you know what we're playing with here. But yeah, it's a whole lot. So that's my main thing. I could just get on there and it's not a whole song and dance of let me find all these games. What did I play? it just tells you what you played. It knows because you've connected your account. So I just imported it all and it just cleaned it up, gave everything ratings or put them in the background. There's a shit ton of Steam games that I've never even heard of, despite me owning them. So a lot of that was just, all right, I'm not going to rate it. I'm not going to give it a status. I'm just going to take away the status and just, it'll be in the background. It'll just be something untouched for me right now. So it's really good. It even looks at like your most rare achievements. It
has an achievement calendar too.
Yes, achievement calendar, and that's something that Exophase doesn't even have. So where is it? They have a whole stats page.
I need to tell you something. So I'm pulling it up here.
Oh no.
No, this is too.
Oh, I think I know what you're gonna say.
One very funny that it's a Korean website. So shout out to the Korean people who are doing this. So I'm exploring around the site, right? And there's in the top bar there's home, feed, and collection. Obviously, I don't have an account, so I don't have a collection. But I'm like, let me hit collection to see what pops up. And the very second line is God of War in review by Emmett Watkins Jr. Uncharted in review by Emmett Watkins Jr.
Yeah, those are dude. Yeah, look, it's not that I made it. Each of those have like God of War in review. I made that last night. There's 2 views on that. Uncharted in review made like 2 or 3 days ago. There's 5 views on that. So the point I'm making is, because you said it's a Korean app. I think it was originally a Korean app and they made it in that market. And you'll search games on here and like 20% of the time it'll be the Korean title for that game. Like even when I imported it, when I had Fall Guys, it showed up as Fall Guys and everything, but the name was in Korean. You click through to the page and it's all, Epic Store and all that stuff. It matches up to all the stats and all the descriptions, but some of the stuff is in Korean. So that might be a little, it comes off as unpolished, even though it's not unpolished. It's just, it was made for a different market before it came to us. And also user base in America, very low so far because they're in beta. It seems like they're trying to get this in the hand. It seems like they're infiltrating specific people who are already on Backlogged or GG talking about those apps. Because I talk a lot about Backlogged. I talk a lot about GG on Twitter. So, they're trying to get the hooks in now. But the app is really impressive. It seems like they're doing something good here. The collection feature is just their list feature, basically. So you get in there, you can arrange lists, have them ranked, be whatever you want. It's really good. The only negatives I have are, of course, the Korean thing makes it feel unpolished because it's just not. You can't just switch a setting in the background and everything's in English. You're interacting with some Korean titles and stuff here and there. But also, this website is just so much because it is the letterbox for video games. That feed section is just Facebook for gamers. Yeah. which might be bad just hearing that said, but literally they have a post button and you can just type whatever you want. People can like it, people can comment it, people can share it. There's a comment section where you can put a picture in the comment as well. It seems just that one section seems a little bit overkill because that's effectively just a social media website on its own. Just that one feed tab. You can post about game reviews, sales, just whatever you want about games. And it tracks all your posts and what games these posts are about. But really, all I'm here for is the main, account linking. They also have a thing called Gamer Age where it'll look at all the games that you rank.
You old bitch.
Oh, dude, it's a problem because I'm over here like, all right, Gamer Age. So it's looking at all the games that you've rated and it tries to guess like, oh, you're probably this age based off the games that you play. And so I'm like, okay, I'm not 30 yet. So it's probably going to give me something pretty low. Guess my Gamer Age right now.
Ooh. 37.
You're already on my page.
Oh. I don't know where it is on your page. Is that really what it is?
I'm not going to say if it is. Mario, what do you think?
Well, based on that reaction, I'm going to say 37.
It's 37.6.
Nice.
Wow. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I literally just found it. I kid you not. I do not tell a lie. That's cool.
Scott Sonner, huh? But yeah, Gamer Age, it totally gave me an extra 8 years, which I'm not happy about. But in any case, it's a very, very cool site. It's very statistics heavy. It breaks down everything. They have like little hashtags attached to every game. So there's like a little word bubble where it's like, you play a lot of single player, you play a lot of first person, you play a lot of atmospheric. So it's very cool. I want to use this site more. It's just, it feels a little bit bloated just because it's like, why is there a Facebook here at all? But, everything else is exactly what I want from a site like this. So I think this is going to be the one that I stick with, which, sorry for GG and sorry for backlog. I literally just put my entire everything into those sites a while back, but here I am making another change. So yeah, this site's really cool.
It is pretty cool.
So I have a question. So obviously I use GG. Committing to a new app, that's a lot. Would you ever consider right now, if someone's using GG, is there value in Exophase? Because I do like how it can bring in other platforms and share data about your achievements. Because I don't think there's an up-to-date website that does that. Is True Achievement still a thing?
True Achievements is still a thing, but that's still just Xbox.
Okay.
They do have a True Trophies as well, but something happened with my account. I have not been able to log on to True Trophies in like a year and a half. Okay. So
there's a PlayStation 1 too.
I used to use PlayStationTrophies.org or .net or something.
PSN
like
Trophies.
PSN Trophies. Yeah, that used to be my jam.
No, PSNProfiles.com. That's what it is.
Profiles.
Yeah,
that used to be my jam back when I was a trophy hunter. That was my jam.
Mm-hmm. Me too. To answer your question, I think if you have a GG or even a backlogged account and you have Exophase, I think that's giving you, enough of both worlds to where you should be good. Because Exophase, I really only use. It's not necessarily that I use it to look at my achievements. I just like having all my data there. I like being able to go back to like my Skyrim gameplay that I typed in manually from PS3 and be like, oh, I put 125 hours into it. Like, that's just a nerdy thing for me. If you want to see your gameplay times, Exophase is really good for that. Because even on Switch, like, on Switch, when it has like the 5 games you've last played, on here, instead of it saying you've played 5 or more hours, it'll say 5.76 or whatever.
Oh my god, yeah. I want that.
So it's very good. Like, I even have like some of these I've typed manually. I'm looking through here before they had the feature, but since they've got the feature on here, like, it has my YouTube app. I've played YouTube for 6.5 hours apparently. So, stuff like that. Tears of the Kingdom, 15.42 hours so far. Breath of the Wild, 22 hours. So, it's useful for me if you just like superfluous data. I love superfluous data. So this is absolutely the type of shit I love. But
do you think you have spent more hours of your life? Like, let's say when you die, you get like stats, right? You get stats of like your whole life. You can just look at it. You got a database of everything you've done in your life. Do you
This
think
a Black Mirror episode you're describing?
Yeah, basically. There you go.
As long as Salma Hayek's in it, I'm good.
Sorry,
so
Mario.
let's say you're looking at your hours. Do you think you have spent more hours watching YouTube or playing video games?
Watching YouTube, absolutely. Watching YouTube.
That's
I like
tough.
that I'm turning based on who I'm talking to.
I watch so many like 3-hour video essays. YouTube wins.
Yeah, my job is sort of YouTube without getting into specifics about my job. So that's a tough one. It's going to be really close, but I think it's probably gaming.
Yeah.
But like,
you played
very
19
close.
games while getting your degree. So like, yeah.
This motherfucker's going at it, dude.
Absolutely. I haven't even started school yet, and I only got 3 games played. Then again, that's because I started a relationship at the beginning of the year. So, that'll do it.
Yeah. But I'm an old, right? So like, don't worry about me.
Yeah, you're structured. That's what I'm hearing.
There it is.
There you
You'll
go.
get there.
Sooner rather than later, I'm already I won't be 9 to 5, but I will probably be like, I don't know, 3 to 12 possibly. So we'll see. I'll be getting up really early, but I'll be getting out even earlier. So we'll see.
Beautiful.
Yeah, like I said, I literally at work yesterday, because my job is it's physical, so I don't have to like think too much. So I just put on an earbud and just go. I was listening to Noah Caldwell-Gervais talk about Resident Evil for 7.5 hours. So yes, there's one video he has 7.5 hours, the entire Resident Evil series. So Noah Caldwell-Gervais, one of the GOATs. Let me tell you, like, I will talk about him all the time on every show I'm on. So yeah, I absolutely listen to too much. I mean, I have the whole best video essays of the year thing I do on VGU.TV. Yep. Like, that's proof enough.
Good
Where I got 20. Oh yeah, thank you. In fact, that's people still look at that list even now. Like some days that will be the most viewed article on the website, even like today. It's like, well, people are really looking for this. We still get emails about it sometimes too. So it's like, maybe I should do more things related to video essay stuff, but I have nothing to announce right now, but we'll see.
I can't wait for the era where Emmett will just turn it on its head and pump out 12-hour video essays himself, and I'll be so proud.
God, I've had concepts for video essays before. Let me tell you, you don't want to hear any of them. Actually, you might, but like they're weird. I have one video essay idea where I just compare Bad Boys 2 to Bayonetta 1.
I love it.
And I've thought about that a lot. And then I saw RRR, and that complicated a lot of my feelings because RRR is just a better Bad Boys 2. So yeah.
What is RRR?
I got thoughts. RRR is the Bollywood movie from last year that everyone lost their mind about. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Very good movie. Holy shit. That's one. You want to talk about movies, to circle it back around to the beginning. Me and my girlfriend saw RRR in the theaters right when they put it back out for the Oscar nomination. Mm-hmm. No one was in that theater. It was just us. And y'all, you want to talk about a movie that you want to scream and run around during? That is the type of film. It was so great. And she was so down for all of it too. She loves action movies just as much as me. So I was like, God damn, good thing we're together.
You're describing me when I saw Past Lives about a month ago, which is like the Korean / American movie. I think it's an A24 joint, if I'm not mistaken. I could be mistaken.
I haven't seen the movie, but I've seen of it.
I think Kim Hawkins was talking and crying about it too. It's very good. And then I just saw the Psycho-Pass, like the anime movie that Crunchyroll just put out in theaters for a week. And I was the only person in the theater.
Nice.
Past Lives, I think it was me and two other folks, or my partner and I and two other folks. So shout out to empty movie theaters.
Hell yeah.
It's a vibe, I'm gonna watch theaters. It's a good time. It's a good time.
Yeah. Actually, it was the same thing for Little Mermaid because we saw that shit at 9 a.m. So it was me and 3 of my friends in there just watching Little Mermaid with no one around on a Sunday. It was great.
Did you suit up for it like they did for Minions? Like that seems like a thing you should do.
Nah, we did. I mean, we saw it was a double feature. We saw Spider-Man right after, so we all had on Spider-Man outfits. So I felt really good. I would have took a picture of it, but then I got fucking not brain freeze. What's the thing when it's brain freeze, but when it's hot out?
Heat stroke?
Yeah, I had a mild heat stroke after.
Emmett's like, what's the thing? What's the thing where your heart stops pumping blood? What's that thing called?
Called death.
But no, I got over it. It was fine. It actually worked out pretty great because I was like, oh, I'm sick. Can we just go home and just chill? So we ended up watching like half The Idol that day, and it was not great. So then we watched The Room, and it was great.
Like the Room, like Tommy Wiseau, The Room.
Tommy Wiseau's The Room, absolutely. Because we were hate watching The Idol and laughing at it. Then it got too gross, and we were like, all right, we can't do this. We want to hate watch something else, so we hate watch The Room, and it was good. She had never seen it, and she still is with me, so it worked out.
Nice. Have you been to a viewing of it in real life?
Oh no, I should do that.
Okay, so to both of you, I will give you the recommendation of find a theater that is playing The Room, because there's like things that happen in the room while you're watching The Room. So like there'll be spoons. So anytime anyone says spoons, you throw your spoons at the screen.
I know.
Oh, it's like Rocky Horror.
Yeah, it's
truly,
a whole
yes.
thing.
I think there's a football at some point too. It's incredible. I recommend it highly.
All right, putting down the bucket list. That's the next RRR for me and my girl. We'll definitely do that.
We should do that at some point too. We should do. I'm sure people are doing Rocky Horror and The Room double features. I'm sure that's a thing. Like, hey, these weird movies that people do weird shit to. Let's watch them both.
Yeah. Roomy horror. Nice. Picture show.
Nice. So anyway, Emmett, you were saying that you're glad that we dropped the bomb on Japan. Speaking of optimism.
Oh my God. My response to that, to bring it all the way around, is a video by Sean where he talks for 2.5 hours about why we shouldn't have dropped the bomb on Japan.
Probably a good idea not to drop the bomb on Japan. Probably.
Yeah, the only bombs I approve of is the one song "Drop the Bomb on Him" by Eminem on Relapse. That's all I got. Boy,
that's his platform when he's running for president.
I can't use Eminem for president. I will lose. then everyone will be like, he has Trump vibes. No, wrong vibes. No, I'm revival Eminem, not fucking relapse Eminem. Good Lord. Gotta love it.
Beautiful. All right. Anything you lovely people have to say before we go?
Are y'all going to PAX? I need to know. That's it.
I wish,
That's all
dude. I wish. I've never been to a PAX. Always wanted to go to a PAX. It just has never been able to work out for me. But I will at some point go to a PAX and go to more events because I miss seeing people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'd love to go to PAX as well. My whole thing is I was able to go this year because a lot of things tied up to where I was like, excellent. This is a perfect opportunity. I would love to say I'll be able to go to next year, but my girl's from Barbados and she really wants me to go see her family in Barbados. So that's already going to be a trip. And she's also like, I want to see the manatees. She said that for like 5 months. So like, those might be the two things I do next year.
Emmett
and I live in neighbor states and we haven't seen each other.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, I should say, so the reason we're recording this super early, because usually we record this right before the Tuesday it goes out. I'm going to be in Florida this coming weekend because I'm going to see a bunch of my family. How close to Orlando do you live? Actually, maybe don't say that on air.
Like here, I'll give you my address. No, it's fine. It's about a 3-hour drive. So not too bad. Not too. It's like
further south, 3 hours?
South, yes. Well, no, going north. Going north.
Okay. So then we're probably going to pass you.
Because I'm all the way down south.
Okay. Oh, so like we have to pass Orlando and then go all the way to you.
Yes, exactly. Because I'm all the way down at the bottom.
Damn. You and your panhandle.
We can talk about it offline.
We'll discuss it. I'll text you probably.
I'll give you my social security number.
Yes. Your 401k, please give it.
Absolutely.
I mean, PAX is very tough. We're all East Coasters, right? So like this will probably be my last West ever. Just because like expensive and like I'm old and thinking about, the future and what that means.
Oh, yeah.
So I think I'm gonna do East probably yearly, and then that'll be it. Like this is my last West. So they're sending me off. I'm doing 2 panels again. It's gonna be fantastic. Maybe I'll speak French again, who knows.
That was an incredible moment last time when you got to speak it.
It was silly. It was very silly, and I'm looking forward to doing it again this time. Do you want to know one of the titles of the panel, and then I'll stop talking? Video Game Trivia Live 3 Dub Edition.
Midnight Club Dub Edition. I like that.
Thank you. That's all I gotta say. So if you're at PAX West, like come find me and say hello.
Bingo.
Find Jacob at PAX West. Jacob, thank you once again for coming on, dude. This was a blast.
No, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course.
Turns out you're good at talking on a mic.
Who would have thought?
Wow. Well, people, do you like talking into mics? I don't know.
Are you Team Barbie or Team Oppenheimer? Put it down in the comments below.
There you go. Beautiful. By the way, the meme that both products were first launched in Japan tickled me.
Oh no. Hey man. There's nothing I can't say
that they came out on the same day when, their original products also came out on the same place.
If we were in a different place culturally, we would all be eating Wappenheimers on this episode right now. Yeah, they don't make Whoppers anymore. Nolan's above marketing these movies like that. So but we're this close. If only.
Yeah, well. Let us know if you're watching Barbie or Oppenheimer. We'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.